Okay, so I know you go.
Do you want me to
No,
start?
you do. I'll go do it.
Are you?
I'm a little
what are you
nervous.
laughing at?
I'm a little nervous right now.
You're nervous? Why are you nervous?
You know, it's been 2 weeks since we did the podcast, and I'm just a little. I'm a little stage. I got stage fright.
Yeah, we've done this a lot before. You haven't had an issue with this before.
Yeah, I'm just please do me this favor and intro the podcast, please.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gus and Eddy podcast.
Fuck you.
We're back. Post trial, I look like a vacation dad. Gus, you can't see me, but I've got one button too low opened on my button-up shirt right now, ready to say gracias to the waitress.
That's good. Dad looks at himself in the mirror that morning before going down to the margarita bar and said, I will unbutton this one. People will notice.
People will notice, and my chest hair is rocking. Yes, I'm drinking a Corona. I know, guys. Okay, I get it.
Dude, I get it.
That
was them.
It cut out, so all I heard was,
that's all they're going to have time to hear.
I'm having this beer, even though it's only 3:21, because my video is out right now. I put up another video. And I know I always make promises about uploads, but I believe I'm actually going to have another video within the next week just because this is like a jammin' one. I'm feeling great, dude. Even I might not upload a video, but I'm hoping to, and that's all that counts, right? Except it doesn't.
That's all that matters, baby.
How you feeling, dude?
I think I'm feeling okay. Actually, I don't know. Just kind of a weird week. The video, as of recording this, the video that I'm putting up later is just me kind of saying like, hey, I usually upload like every 8 days. Today's day 8. I just am not feeling super creative this week, but we're starting Twitch streaming and we've got the podcast. Please check out like the old trial and stuff. Like,
did you
just
plug
kind of touching base.
Twitch?
I told them about your new video, if it's any consolation.
Please promote me in every way that you can, not just as a favor for one way.
Okay, Sabrina, can we delete Eddie's video mention out of the video, please? Thank you.
I was actually, before you started talking about that, I was going to say we should plug our Twitches, so now is the time to do it. We've been streaming more. If you are listening to the podcast and like it, it's like watching streams. Gus, yours is twitch.tv/GusTunes, right?
That's correct.
And mine is twitch.tv/Eddie Burback. We've been streaming with Jakey. We're going to be streaming with Bruce Green, with Ethan Nestor. Dude, I fucking like streaming. It's fun as hell.
I really like it too, and I feel again too. I don't come from a Twitch background too, and it's really fun and exciting to try to like do this and stuff. Like, I like the vibe of it too, and I like starting it where I'm at now because I think if I tried doing it more like years ago, I would feel like, what do I say?
Right,
but it's
exactly.
Just so relaxed now,
It's a fun. I like being live and doing like. Not live comedy like on a stage, but I'm saying like it's fun to do it live on the internet, even to just see chat like when you make a joke, react to it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, it's so fun, and especially where it's like it was so weird to me too, because now it's like in recent memory, I've only done like 2 Twitch streams, and I did like one Age of Empires 2 Twitch stream like 2 days ago, and then like on my r/Gus Johnson subreddit, like I already saw like 3 memes just from the one Twitch stream, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Am I doing Twitch stuff now?
Yeah, I was shocked by how I love how much people will turn stream moments into like memes. I love it. But yeah, so I don't know. We're not even promoting shit, really. It's just like if you guys want to hear more of us during the quarantine. Also, I will mention, I know we talked about bonus episodes at the beginning. I just kind of want to mention it, Gus, is like, I think we were talking about it, and it's like the podcast feels right still doing it weekly. And we wanted to do bonus episodes when everything started because it felt like everyone was going into this like the worst case scenario sleepover almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was like we're all going to be inside and we're going to have nothing to do. And then everyone figured everything out and we're kind of returning to like a weird quarantine normal. And I don't know. I think the podcast is better once a week with our streams and with our videos coming out and like all that shit.
Yeah, and also even just personally, I just don't think I could do it.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
think I could make time for it.
At the time, it seemed like such a fun idea to do bonus episodes, but I worry the podcast still does not feel like a job to me, and I worry if we did bonus episodes during quarantine, it would start to feel that way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like, it's so fun every time you boot it up now, where it's like, I don't want this to become a chore in any way, and I just don't think I can make time for it right now, so.
And like I love doing it, and it's easy. But if we were thinking about like doing conversation 3 times a week, like nothing's happening, nothing is new. Where it's like, hey, what did you do? Something on my computer is pretty much what you could answer.
That's cool. What keys did you type? That sounds so rad, man. Tell me the order too. That's crazy.
I typed K and then ILL.
No.
Dude, I'm just I don't know. I'm in a weirdly enough like a better mood where I think I don't know. I think that the weather's been nice out here, so I've been opening up the windows and just like pretending like it's summer and I'm outside.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah. I just am at this point too. I even told you in person too. It's like, I am buckled down. I just want to be in Wisconsin right now. I don't want to be here anymore. It's like I can already so rarely hang out with you. You know, like we're able to sometimes go outside and at a distance, like chill and chat. And I love that. But it's like, if I already like can barely see you and really can't see the other YouTube friends and stuff, it's like I miss my family. Everyone's back home right now. And I just want to fucking go outside into a yard, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to update people on the like health stuff that you had mentioned before?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's our situation real quick. So again, I told you if you listened a couple months ago, Sabrina and I were suspected to have had it. Testing kits were not available at the time. We self-quarantined regardless. And now we've been largely asymptomatic for probably at least a month or so now. Sabrina and I finally got an antibody test taken about like 5 days ago or so. The antibody tests for 2 kinds of antibodies. It just, in short, determines whether or not you've had the coronavirus so far. Now, again, none of these are FDA approved. There's a bunch of them out there. Take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, Sabrina and I took the test, and it came up double negative and said that we never had the virus, which is like good and bad. Like, I really wanted to already have this damn thing. Maybe I'd have a little bit of immunity to it, but we had something, but it wasn't the virus.
The thing about the antibody test is you would, by that point, hope that it would be positive because that would mean that you weren't in danger of the worst of coronavirus.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, like, that's not the symptoms, obviously, that you guys got, or else you'd be in the hospital. But
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just like, by that point, I was hoping that you'd get the positive, too, because then you'd be able to just go home to Wisconsin. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah, without a doubt. So it's like, at least right now we know now that we don't have it and probably almost definitely didn't have it. Mm-hmm. So like, that's great where it's like, we're still pure, baby. But I want to get the frick out of here though. So now it's like, we definitely have to drive home. So it's like, it's going to be like a 30-hour drive if we didn't stop. And I'm like, I don't want to do that again. It's not fun. Can't stop by the Grand Canyon this time and have fun.
Yeah, for people that don't know for the podcast, it was great where when we moved out here, a couple of my hometown friends, Gus and I, took my friend Eric's pickup truck and a U-Haul, and we drove across the country from Chicago to L.A., not on Route 66, but essentially that road trip. And it was fun, and it was cool, and I got memories that I would never trade in for anything. I would never regret doing that. But I don't want to do that drive again. It took us 4 days, dude.
Never fucking again. And the thing is, like,
sucked.
I want to do it economically, which is nightmare mode.
Well, that's the
thing.
But
I want to be like one overnight, you know?
Yeah, well, I fear that might be impossible mental health wise.
Did I not say nightmare mode?
That's the problem, though, is like you want to think like, oh, I'll knock it out in 3 days instead of 4. And then you're like, those are 3, like 10, at least 10-hour driving days in a row, which is like
misery.
Ooh. But with some beautiful sights and also a lot of nothing.
Yeah, even when we were doing on tour, like a lot of the times where Sabrina and I were kicking around, it's like we'd have maybe like 3 or 4 days in a row where we were driving 3 to 6 hours in a day, and I was like, I can never do this again. This is misery.
Right, yeah.
So I'm dreading doing this, but fucking hell.
Yeah, so I don't know, dude. But either way, like, yeah, I'll probably, no matter what, if things don't open back up, I'm going back to Chicago in August because my sister is having a child. I'm going to be an uncle, which is awesome.
Wow.
But what's also sad and unfortunate is I'm missing my sister's pregnancy completely because of the virus. And I think that's what came in the frustration. If anybody saw the subreddit post of me being a little frustrated of people being like, you're lazy for not uploading. It's like, I got a lot to be sad about as well as everybody else in the world right now. Just take it easy on everybody, please.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Also, you can't be there, like, on the most important part that you're missing out for your sister's pregnancy is you can't be there to be around her in public when strangers come up and just unsolicited touch her tummy and say, oh, how far are you?
Yeah. That's something that we're all missing out on.
Yeah, just everybody biting the bullet on that one. Shucks.
One thing, too, though, it's an interesting, even, like, and sad in a way, and the perspective of it is, like, I don't even know what the protocol will be in August when my sister has her kid of, like, what if we could see her in the hospital or even go, you know what I mean? Like, I might go home and then have to, like, see her kid across from a parking lot and be like, yo, and that baby's not going to know how to say yo back. It's going to be like a day old.
You'd just be screaming and crying. You didn't even say yo that loud, but you made him cry.
Exactly. It's just, shit sucks, bro.
Have you ever been around for, like, somebody, not whether or not you're in on the birth, but just around for, like, hey, someone's in the hospital, there's a new baby?
Yeah, but I was 5 and it was for my cousin. So like, we went with, and I remember it being exciting, but no. I mean, I'm assuming you did because you are the oldest sibling.
That's the thing where I was like, oh, that's weird. It's like, I remember the day all of my siblings were born. Mm-hmm. Like, I just remember that where it's like, oh, there's just a new person in my life forever. I remember even thinking that when Sven was a kid, like when he was born, and I was like 4 and some change. And I just remember thinking like, oh, this person is just kind of around forever now. Because I was an only child, and I was, not that I wanted him to, you know, like do a month stint and then we just like cap him out back.
No, I get it
like
though.
That,
Every kid's got a because you have this family unit of 3 people and you're the only kid, and then it's just like, hey, get used to it. There's just a new guy.
Yeah, it was just super strange.
And you don't know if that guy's going to be a jerk or not. And then he turned out to be one.
I know, and then I got 2 more jerks after that. What?
I actually was rewatching. Tony sent me some home videos that we had that he like used the VCR player. Like it's some connection you can do where you'd like digitally record it, you know, from the tape.
Yeah.
And he sent me some, and I watched the day that my parents brought me and Tony home from the hospital. And then 2 days later, it's a clip of my grandma and my great grandma like taking care of us, and my dad filming, and my sister, who I won't accidentally say her first name this time, she's 5, and she's just like in the bottom of the frame going like, Dad, I can do magic. And he's like, okay. And then she's like, no, and he's like trying to zoom in on me as an infant. And she's like, look at the magic trick. And it's just, you can see desperately my sister being like, I'm losing my grip here. Like, I need some attention right now. Because I can't imagine it's like you're an only child and then 2 babies come along. And it's like your parents can't pay attention to you at all.
There's no competition at all.
I'm pretty sure
it's like,
grew up in like a dark, locked room. You
said her name.
Shit. Tony, please censor that. Censor my mouth too, so they can't see. Shit. God damn, dude, it's so hard.
Okay.
Like,
that's a hard one.
Especially because you know her, and that's all. There's not more discussion. I don't want people hunting into that.
No, I get that. Dude, do you ever, how often did you watch home movies as a kid? Because, like, we'd go through them all the time. We would choose a specific kid, I remember, where Mom would be like, hey, you want to watch Thor movies tonight? And I'd say, like, fuck you, we want to watch Gus movies. But what I love, too, is, like, there is probably collectively, like, 700 hours of Gus movies, and then there's probably about like 300 hours of Sven movies, and probably about 100 of Thor movies, and then I think we got a tight 20 minutes of Hani on tape there. My mom just got to the point, she's like, just fuck it at this point, I don't care.
One day your mom stopped making Gus movies, and you're like, fine, I'll make them myself as my job. I will make Gus movies forever.
I'm really only doing this until she picks up again, at which point I will delete my entire channel, Unis Honest mode.
Oh, man, dude. I just, I Weirdly enough, I'm in a very good mood right now because I feel like I trampled my procrastination and we're just the boys chatting and I got a beer and it's nice out. So
that is pretty nice.
Somebody write a country song about me finishing a video.
I like it.
You want to hit up some preguntas?
Let's hit some preguntas right on the head.
Also, I want to say still mail is on hiatus for obvious reasons, guys. We can't go to the post office. So please don't send mail because it'll pile up for the post office people. And then we're so worried we're going to get there post-coronavirus and they're going to be like, yeah, we had to rent a new building to put this shit in.
I get emails, and the thing is, like, people mean well, but I've seen a couple emails or, like, Twitter messages of people that said, like, hey, I know you said no mail, but is there any way I can get you? It's like, no!
Yeah.
No, like, we won't get it!
It's so nice of you to want to do that, but it's like, there's a reason we said no mail, because we can't get it right now.
Eddie, I didn't even tell you before the preguntas shit. I had to call the cops today.
Oh, well, you told me that, but not any details.
Do you want to hear the sweet deets? It's nothing too salacious. Well, first of all, this is our second time calling the police in the last, 2 months, or 2 weeks even here on this new apartment.
Can I ask, was the source of the call that, crazy screaming from earlier?
It was, yes. Wait, you heard crazy screaming 2 hours ago or whatever?
Yeah, I heard screaming, but it sounded so far away. But now that you mentioned it, it's upstairs a couple floors and probably through an open window. And it was shrieking. And I was like, what's going on? I looked out the window to see the source of it and it seemed too far. And so I was like, I don't know what to do.
It was on our floor. It was one of the neighbors on our floor. And it was a woman screaming. And I heard a man yelling. And I literally I went outside into the hallway with my mask and my flip-flops on and my pepper spray. And I was like, what the fuck is going on out here? I was just trying to see what door it was at. So then we called the police. We were just like, hey, check this out and stuff. But what the fuck was that shit?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man.
I kept hearing and seeing too. Once I got back inside, I was looking through the peepholes because you can see all other people's doors and shit in the hallway. And it's I saw the door opening a little bit, and they were not English native language speakers, but the door was opening. I couldn't hear what they were saying, and it was a guy yelling, and he'd be like, ah, boom. And it kept opening and shutting and slamming. And I was like, something is fucking going bad here.
Did you get an update at all?
Well, the police called back and they never came. But they were we're I think something's really going on here. And the police officer, because Sabrina made the first call because I was in the bathroom when it first happened. And she just was like, yeah, I know, we hear screaming and there's a woman yelling and there's a guy yelling and they keep slamming the door. They're definitely fighting or something. And the man's like, well, did you, or the operator goes, did you see them fighting? Or, do you know that they're fighting? Or are they just yelling? And it's this, I don't know!
Yeah.
They're screaming! There's 2 adults screaming, doors are slamming. This is not normal. Someone come check this shit out. Also, 2 weeks ago, it was 8 in the morning, and I just hear this woman screaming outside, outside the building.
Oh, yeah, no, I think that might have been, wait, you talking about, it was 8 a.m.? Because there's one that happened in the middle of the night at the building next to us.
Oh, that happened too? Oh, dude, I've called the cops 3 times in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I totally fucking forgot about that shit.
Just so everybody knows, there was somebody, and it was I think probably 1 a.m. on a Sunday night, somebody in front of the building next to us, just yelling, not screaming, but just yelling shit at somebody and wouldn't shut up. And then when the cops finally came, everybody in that building just started applauding out of their window that she got picked up. And I was just like, what the fuck happened there, man? I kept looking down and I didn't see the person because there was too many trees in the way.
Can I goof on Sabrina 1 second quickly associated with that?
With her permission, yeah. I mean, if you were cool with this being public to everybody.
It's not a big thing. I gave her a little business with it. But because we've had to call the cops a few times here, Sabrina goes into a mode that's very much kind of
I love how you're whispering. Mode. This is going to go in a video, guys, and on Spotify and Apple Music or whatever.
She doesn't watch the podcast. Anyway, it just made me go, ah. So that whole situation was happening. And in emergency situations, I like to think I'm pretty calm a lot of the time. Anyway, I'm looking outside and I'm just filming out the window just in case, because they had like the suspects were like pinned against one of the like a security vehicle. So I was just taping it just in case. And Sabrina was like running back and forth like on the phone and stuff. And while that stuff was going on outside the window, like one of the other neighbors yelled out and said, "Call the police!" And Sabrina, in like the most triumphant hero voice ever, just says out the window, she like yells, she goes, "The police are being called!"
That's great.
I was like,
one of the neighbors like, yes. You know
yeah. It was like, the beacons are lit. Like all the neighbors are just working together. But it was just so minor, and it was late at night, and I was just like, all right, thanks. But yeah, like we had to call 3 times. I totally forgot about that. I wish I knew what happened. I'm such a like, I want to stick my nose in people's businesses. It's so unhealthy, but it's like I want to know what's going on. I don't want to be a looky-loo and go outside. But it's like they had the dude. There was like a guy and a girl, and they were like pinned against this car. And the thing is, like the private security was just handling it all, and they seemed so confident about it, where like the guy and the girl were like frantic, and they were screaming like, "We didn't do anything. I didn't do anything." And the security was like, "We have the video. You are on video." Like they were just so like, "You dumb motherfucker." Jesus. So knowing nothing about the situation, I think they probably did it. That's all I'm saying about them. But
you know what's crazy about that too?
What?
You are actually, I just got a text that came in. You're the first person to say looky-loo in 70 years.
No, all right.
You're the first one.
My grandmother was the last one to say it. She'll be proud that I carried on the family legacy.
I just got invited to somebody's graduation party on my email. Guys, stop emailing me things. I don't want your email.
Yeah. I had somebody that had a good it's like it was a really kind suggestion today, but also like it's not gonna work. They're like, "Hey, because mail can't really come in right now, have you considered like doing like email so that you can still interact with people?" And it's like, we do questions.
Yeah.
Why don't need to open an email? Also, like, I get enough emails from individual people where it's like, I can't respond to those, you know?
Yeah, and also it's just, I like things like the Twitch streams and everything too, where we can like talk to people in chat and
yes.
I don't know. There's a I get the want for it, but it's also like the fun of mail is like opening something and showing everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of the regular mail we read privately anyway, and just not on the podcast. So it's like, if you want to send that stuff, we'll still read it, just not on the podcast. But absolutely. Yeah, you want to hit up some preguntas?
Absolutely. All right, so follow us on Twitter at Eddie Burback and at Gus Buckets. Still haven't gotten Gus Johnson yet. I haven't really tried though. How the fuck do I not get Gus Johnson, by the way?
Well, because Gus Johnson was already an established sportscaster.
He hasn't tweeted since 2012.
I know,
take that away from him.
Twitter rules. How am I not verified? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Can I just say...
Go ahead.
No, you say yours first. I need to look something up.
Every one of our friends, except for me and Jakey, are verified. And it's like, I was like, maybe being a podcast host will do it. No. I was like, maybe Comedy Central, working with them, will do it independently. No. So it's just like, Twitter, come on. And don't tweet at Twitter. But also, I was going to say, too, follow us on Twitter and also maybe Instagram, because I'm going to hit 100K on Instagram soon. So maybe follow me there. I don't know if you want to see pictures of me and my butt and balls. I don't know.
Eddie's posting full taint pics every day at 2 p.m. Central, so please smash them MF notifs, okay?
It's on my Instagram story for 13 seconds. So if you catch my taint pics, you were there.
Also, he'll post videos sometimes, and he's crying in every one of them, but doesn't call attention to it.
I just love to sob on my Instagram story, and I'll be promoting my Twitch stream, and I'll just be like, come and watch. And I miss my family.
Just posted today's taint sob. If you can smash that like button.
It's a taint picture, but also you see me bending over and sobbing and looking at the camera. Okay, let's hear a question.
Dude, okay. I got to send you this picture of Gus Johnson's Twitter. This is the last thing he tweeted in 2012. I just put it in Discord.
Okay, hold up.
Tony, throw this on screen, please.
Yeah, it's in the podcast Discord, Tony, if you want to look for it right now. But also, I got to go to it really quick. Wait, so you said this was, before I click on it, the last picture he tweeted?
This is the final thing Gus Johnson ever tweeted in May of 2012.
First off, it's And then it's
What the fuck? Take this. Why does he deserve that? You have lost your privileges, Gus Johnson. God damn it.
There's one reply on November 16th, 2019. Looks like 7 years after he tweeted this, and somebody just said, "Your performance on Fox was pure shit today." 7 years later.
2 likes though on that one. I don't know. Maybe it was. All right. So follow us on Twitter at Eddie Burback and at Gus Buckets. We'll answer your questions every week. This one comes to us from Shot Aftermath. They say, "Hey boys, what's the longest time that a video has taken because of reshoots or anything else?"
Not because of reshoots. This last video took me the longest.
Yeah.
Just because there was editing stuff I liked, but there was this kind of hurdle in the beginning where I really had to rework a ton of stuff. And I do this thing when I edit where if I hit a hurdle, my brain goes, "I hate you. Delete everything." And I have to go, I'm going to step away from Premiere for a bit. So this one took me the longest. I would like to think, and I could, be clipped for this before and being wrong, I will never let this amount of time go by between videos again. I want to get back to one a month. That's what I feel comfortable with. So, but who knows? But what about you?
Well, the thing is, too, one thing I hate more than anything, and it's not a good trait to have, especially as I go forward, hopefully in the next year or so, and start developing actual TV shows or bigger projects and stuff. But I know I'm not the best at anything, but fuck you, you're getting 2 drafts tops if I make something. I don't like sending in a bunch of drafts and having to do that first low budget, the low-budget rom-com one. I worked on that fucking thing for so long.
Yeah, man.
To the point where it's once it came out, I knew, I'm very confident. I really think that's one of the best things that we've shot together.
Yeah, it was fun as fuck to make, too.
It sucked dick making it, though. For me, because it's remember, too, before I left town, it was that was the peak of, the first round of shit where it's those first shoots, at the old Rooster Teeth office and stuff, I was, running around, trying to call Sabrina about some problem, back at home, and, I was running out of time. I don't remember if you had to catch a flight or if I had to catch a flight.
I was already scheduled to go home, and you forgot that there was a scene you had to shoot with me, and then I was home, and then so you just had Sabrina play my part, I'm pretty sure.
And the thing is, that's the only format that would have worked in, so thank God, because if anything, that's almost kind of funnier for that part, too.
Yeah, no, it worked perfectly, but that wasn't on purpose for everybody that knows that video.
Yeah, but it was that shoot day was a nightmare, and the thing is, the funniest part in that video, it was great. The hose part is so funny in there, but that hurt so bad, and it's my sinuses were so sore after that because I was getting just a hose squirted up my nose, and then that was the time too where I was
not being kind with it.
No. That was the time too where it was freezing. It was before hunting season, and I knew I wanted to get that mannequin shot, so I spent so many hours on the phone as I'm running around trying to coordinate with other people, calling Sven back in Wisconsin because I was having him drive 20 minutes to this Sears warehouse that shut down that had a bunch of old mannequins. So I kept calling the manager or whatever, and I was haggling with him. I was like, "Listen," I was I know this Sears is shut down. You can't let one of these things go for $60. Can I just buy one of these? It doesn't even have to have full arms. I just need the body. He's I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it. I was I can send someone over and can pick it up today. And then I'm calling someone. I was "Can you skip your class to go pick this up for me? I'm really sorry." It was a nightmare where it's I already hated that. I had to send in so many drafts of the thing to the point where it's once you put it out, it's good, fuck this thing. I'm not even excited about it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And it was there was one thing though, it just reminded me too, that I remember when we shot that, it was when we met Bruce. And,
yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I remember just being fuck, I fucking love Bruce Green. We're shooting a video with Bruce Green. This is so fucking cool. And now we're friends with Bruce, and it's just we're streaming with him tomorrow, and it's oh, also, yeah. Oh, wait, no. The stream would have already happened by the time this comes out. So, sorry you missed it, jackass.
Haha, gotcha.
Follow us on Twitch, losers.
Do you know what time we're doing that tomorrow?
No, not at all. I'm assuming after we, the 6 feet apart hangout.
Probably.
Yeah, and by that I mean outside. Gus and I 6 feet apart, so more than that, 20 feet apart even. Megaphones in the middle of the street.
If you hear us yelling, if you're anywhere within a 5-mile radius of where we live, you'll hear us yelling outside at megaphones to each other like that.
Yeah,
Just
and
get used
also,
to it.
if you ever are within a 5-mile radius of us, I consider that doxing, and I will sue you. So don't ever be within 5 miles of me. I will fucking destroy you.
That's only fair. I think it's only fair. And I think it's safe to say, too, once this is all over, we will be carrying pepper spray. And if you even look at us, I don't even care if it's not a fan. Maybe we just look strange and someone's making eye contact. I'm going to hit you in the eyes with the pepper spray.
Dude,
and that's
you know what I'm doing now, too? Now that I'm taken, right?
What's that?
I'm going to hook up pepper spray, and I'm going to rig like the button for it with my zipper. So if anybody else in public tries to get at my peen, right in the face.
Won't
right
you probably
away.
get a pretty healthy back spray of pepper spray, like right on your glands?
Yeah, I think so.
I was how confidently you said, yeah, I bet.
Just an extra tingly sensation. Maybe I didn't think it through. Okay, just hit us with another question. Also,
tingly dingly.
Bro, imagine not having a tingly dingly.
If you guys see Eddie out in public with a tingly dingly, do not speak to him, please.
If you ever see me at a live event or a show or something and you see me waddling and going, ow, 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 that means I got tingly dingly and you shouldn't come anywhere near me because there's pepper spray in the air.
We apologize tonight. Our next performer is going to be Eddie Burback. He just called in. They take a piece of paper out. He says he has tingly dingly tonight.
Ooh,
can't make it.
I'm like, I'm here. No,
Oh, he's here. Don't clap too loud. It will irritate the dingly.
You guys, you know when you're at the mall? Oh, shit, my dingly's tingling so bad.
I can't tell jokes. Maybe I'll just try to do a little singly, tingly, dingly.
I turn around and the mic's still near my mouth and I'm like, fuck, my dingly is tingling so fucking bad. I wonder if anybody notices how bad my dingly's tingling.
Oh, frick, was that out loud? All right, new question. I mean, Pregunta.
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Even just hearing a Pregunta, I was like, I haven't heard a question from the boys in a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked.
Also, I'm hearing
It's a sad state.
a noise outside, and it sounds like yard work. Okay, go ahead.
I love yard work. They do it every day. It's so meaningful here. Mm-hmm. At Shu Goomba said, are you guys excited for Breath of the Wild 2? And are there any things that you didn't like that you hope might work differently in the sequel?
Here's what I'll say. I think truly Breath of the Wild 2 is my most anticipated game of my entire life. I really think that's true. I love Breath of the Wild so much. I have not completed my third playthrough, but I've pretty much played through the game 3 times. Like, you don't really need to, once you beat Breath of the Wild, you don't really need to, like, complete the final boss again. You just need to play it a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, I will replay Breath of the Wild every 2 years for the rest of my life, I think. Like, every time a summer hits in the even number of years, I will play it.
Do you start from scratch when you do a replay?
Absolutely, yeah.
I wonder, I can't do that with games like that. I cannot do it.
Other games I
don't know why.
can't, but Breath of the Wild is like, it's reliving kind of not only my favorite game, I think, ever other than Halo 3, but like my, kind of like one of the best summers of my life. We've talked about it before. I think for some people that don't know, when we filmed Par 9, the Kickstarter that was yours that I acted in, it was like I came back, we had finished 5 days early, and the pay was the same, which was great. And like I came home and I walked in the door and it was a summer evening, but it wasn't dark yet. And my mom was like, hey, I just made this fresh batch of cookies. Do you want this fresh cookie? And I was like, yeah. And then I hear somebody pull up in the driveway. I walk out and it's Tony and my friend Paul pulling up after work. And they're like, yo. And then Tony points to a package and it's my fucking brand new Nintendo Switch with Breath of the Wild. And I started playing. And then I would just work. I would work like morning to night, and then I wouldn't play Breath of the Wild until my off days, which was like 1 day a week. And during work, it was I would work the whole day. I wouldn't eat. I'd get a Chipotle burrito and start drinking beers with my friends. And then on my off days, I'd play Breath of the Wild. And life was simple, but also it wasn't, because I would spend so much time wanting to be a YouTuber so badly. So I can't just like rose-colored glasses, for it.
God, that's just a perfect vibe. I love that.
Yeah. So part of playing Breath of the Wild again is part of that feeling always, you know what I mean? And so I don't know. Is there something that you wouldn't want in Breath of the Wild? like that was in the sequel that was in the first one?
The thing is, I recognized early on how it's actually a good thing, just if I'm being picky, but at first I was like, why is there this kind of item destructibility? I want to keep some of them, but then it's like, I love that it pushes me to use new items.
Yeah.
This is so much better.
When I first heard the game had that, I was like, fuck that, I always hate it. But there's this beautiful cycle in weapons in the game, where you're always just like, well, fuck, this is all I have, so I got to figure it out. And there's just so much problem solving in every aspect of the game all the time. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
I would keep it too, but I totally get the first time you use it, you're like, but I like this sword. I don't want this sword to break.
And it's like, I haven't seen this sword elsewhere. Like, what the fuck? Okay, is this just gone forever now? Cause
that's why I like the house in the game, because if you like a weapon so much, you can just mount it in the house.
That's what I was going to say. That's one thing I was probably going to have to change for the second one, though, is it's like there is such a low amount of things that you can actually store in that game. And I know
believe it's 4 weapons, 4 shields, and 4 bows.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, it's what I want out of other games. Like, you know me in Skyrim. You go into any of my houses in Skyrim, and I'm fucking drowning in shit. I'm a hoarder. I've got every unique item. If I'm out in a world, I'm in a dungeon, and I'm laden with stuff, and I'm having to throw out, like, valuable stuff, and then I find something that's, like, a rusty bowl. I'm like, damn it, now I gotta pick up that rusty bowl, because that's the only rusty bowl I ever saw.
But here's my question. I feel like I could name everything that I had on display in Breath of the Wild, and I couldn't name a single thing I kept in Skyrim because I had the option for like everything to keep.
Damn, that's the thing though, is I've played so much Skyrim as I remember most of the shit. At least if I saw it, I'll be like, yeah, I have that. I definitely have that, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't know. I would like to be able to hold on to some things, but I also want to keep that element of like the destructibility with the weapons. That's great. I want to collect a couple more things. I'm a collector in games like that, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think that's why I have such a hard time starting back over again, where it's just like, even the moderate amount of collecting, but it's the progress that like just kills me. Where to me, it's like it's not as specifically story driven. Like that's not where I get my kicks as much. Like I like the adventure and the exploration. I kind of don't give a fuck about the story. This is really my first Zelda game. Like it's cool and all, but that's not what I need out of it. But if I'm playing like Resident Evil 4 for the 1000th time, it's like, okay, well, it's not like I'm spending thousands of hours racking up my stats. Like maybe I'm looking at like a 40-hour playthrough and I'm going through a story again, you know? Like I'll start that over, but also if I can put out one beacon to people, this is me asking for help. I don't think there's a way to do it, but I don't want to start over on Skyrim again. Can I make my PS4 Skyrim save file work on PC? Please help me. Help.
I think there was maybe some kind of mod for like transferring stuff over where you fill out information, but I don't know if it would be the exact save.
I don't know either, but yeah, I got so much shit. I just don't want to start over. PS4 to PC, please help. But that's my last thing.
Okay, you want to hit us with another pregunta? Also,
I do.
Thanks for asking about Breath of the Wild, boy.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm stoked on it. Honestly, I still have more stuff to do in the first one. I'll probably hit that up within a couple of months.
Hell yeah, dude.
At Jace0327 says, my stepdad says that you should fully close the bathroom door at home after using it. He says this because he, quote, doesn't like to look at toilets. I find this annoying, however, as it makes it unclear if the bathroom is in use or if the door is just closed. Thoughts?
Here's the thing. I wanted to laugh at this guy, but are we talking about a bathroom that's like in view of the kitchen? Because then close the goddamn door. But it's like, if it's your room, who cares?
Who cares? It sounds so petty. I just imagine the dad walking down the hallway and just, get that out of here. Well, look at that.
He's just like, ew. What is that?
Have you guys been pooping in this?
Did somebody, why'd they make it white? Why did they make it? They should have made it brown.
Oh, it's
so that I can't see the poop on it.
Oh.
Close the damn door.
Close the damn door. Did your parents ever have any weird like rules like that where you're like, you clearly made a decision and went in this direction, but why did you do that?
My dad's gonna hear this.
I mean, every other rule in my fucking household is an asinine rule, so there's no sense even opening into this. At Boys Support Boys, probably gonna have to scoop that one up from you. Said, "What's your favorite console controller ever?"
Xbox 360, and I also really like the DualShock 4.
Yep. I agree with that. Like, if I'm just going, like, pro gamer mode, the original Xbox 360 controllers are so much fucking... Dude, the PS3 controllers, joke. What a joke.
The PS3 controllers were made for a child's hands. They're so small, dude. I can't play PS3 games anymore.
And why would you... They're so light and small. The little, like, penis handle grips are so short in comparison. Like, and who's the fucking genius that decided to make convex thumb grips?
I know, dude.
What? You get even a little sweaty and you're slipping all over those. Like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
I'm slipping and sliding across the floor in my apartment whenever I'm trying to do it.
Breaking. Whoa!
But I will say, I said DualShock 4. The Xbox One controller is also great. I use it for PC when we play Call of Duty. But I feel like the DualShock 4 and the Xbox One controller are both so good where it's just like, whatever you prefer. It's really
I agree.
I like the triggers better on Xbox controllers, though.
Really? I like the PS4 one, but that's pure bias. I'm just so accustomed to anything PlayStation.
That's the thing is I'm so used to it that I don't mind it anymore. But then like when I'll get my hands on an Xbox controller with a shooter, I'm like, oh yeah, these are some real triggers, boy.
Really? Yeah. Goddamn, dude. They're
also. Wait, sorry, really quick.
No, go for it.
The PS3 controller. I don't know if you ever played Call of Duty on the PS3, but they were like, hey, the bumper buttons are to shoot the gun, and the triggers are grenades. So enjoy. It was like, what?
Why the fuck? No one wants to do that.
But yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I also, though, like, if we're talking about not just, like, pro gamer shit like that, like, the GameCube controller is so it's beautiful. I love it.
Especially for Smash. Whew.
Oh, yeah. That big fat A button just for
Zoomy
everything.
Mama, dude. Oh, my God.
You're attacking people. Boom. You're hitting the gas in Mario Kart. Boom. Get me out of here.
Hit us with another boom.
Here, check this out. Boom.
Yes, dude. Yes. Okay,
right,
another question.
All right, here's a boom one for you. At Chaos Magic Chuck said, what's the hardest part about the biz that many fans might not think about? Hoping everyone's staying healthy and safe.
I'm assuming by the biz he means YouTube, right? Like
probably, yeah.
Because we are not experts on the entertainment industry.
We're not in the biz yet, really.
I would say, I don't know, well, there's a couple things we could discuss here. One thing I want to share especially is I feel like everybody, including me and you, thinks when you're trying to make a video or trying to make videos that you are one big YouTuber shout out away from making your channel explode and having a career. Yep. And for the most part, collaborations don't do that. It's more fun to just like establish a friendship with somebody and grow shit on your own. And also like if somebody just said like, let's rush this person with followers, it usually means people will stop by and then leave. Like your best case scenario is growing your own audience for the most part without a shout out. But if people recommend you, obviously it's good. But I would always feel like, man, if DeFranco would just say like, go watch this guy's videos, I'd be a millionaire. And it's like, no, that's not how that works.
No, it's like a big collab, depending on the situation or the person or the audience. Like that can certainly be a big asset and a big help, but it's like that is not going to fucking make your career. You know?
Exactly.
It's just not going to happen.
And I would say, I don't know, for me personally, it's like I love people seeing my work. One thing, though, I had to get used to, though, is like discussion about my personal life sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like that's something that doing the job, we are willingly accepting as part of the job. So I can't even complain about it. But it's just like that's something, the idea that it's like, oh, somebody's always watching my videos now in a good way. It's like, yes, there's always somebody watching my work, but it's like, to lose even that anonymity at the small level we're at is weird and something to get used to.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, sometimes my brain will be like, let's just move to the woods and just like live there and just forget it all. But I also love what I do. So it's like certain moods I'm in. It's weird. There's a lot of weird brain chemistry that happens with having an internet following because it's not normal. That's not what a human brain is meant for, no matter how small it is.
That's true. And Eddie's is really small, so he has a harder time dealing with everything. But I can speak with someone with a very, very big, bulbing, wrinkly brain.
Okay. So you're saying your brain is huge and mine is a little...
What's that, sweetheart? What's that, honey? What were you saying?
Sorry, sweetheart. It sounded like you were saying... I'm sorry, honey. Were you saying that you had a big brain?
It's big and wrinkly
toots.
And
I'm sorry. I can't say toots. That one feels too weird. That one's too far.
Listen, toots.
Oh man, I don't know. What do you think is the hardest part about doing YouTube stuff I guess, or the business in general? I don't know.
Well, something personally that I've struggled with, and here I'll give you the most relatable answer that I think other people can attest to. A lot of the time, depending on the structure of what you're doing, if you get some momentum going online, if you're a streamer, if you're a YouTube person, you create one-off videos, it's that kind of realization that nobody is making you do anything. Everything that you do is like, you have to fucking do that. And it's like, that is something that's encouraging. And when I am in the situations where like people ask me for advice, or if I'm talking somewhere, it's like, I can't stress that enough. It's like, nobody's making you do this. Or if you're like studying to go to school for something like that, it's like, that's great. Nobody's going to give a fuck about you doing this. Like, you have to make yourself do that. So like, that work ethic thing was something that I struggle with, and I'm really proud of like kind of where I've gotten to in the last couple years.
Yeah, I don't think I really struggle with that work ethic thing. No, yeah, that is. I mean, it's such a perk for the job, but then it's also like, yeah, it's just. I think especially because we left the school system right into doing this, and it's like, where's the principal to tell me to make videos? Like,
exactly. He used to do that all the time when I was in college. He'd go to my door, "Hi, it's the dean. You gotta upload. It's been 3 days."
Where's Indiana drum solo or Indiana Jones drum solo 2?
I'm sorry, it was years ago. I think besides that though, we've probably spoken to this a bit before, but like the thing that I hate the most, or that bothers me the most, again, and again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because we are steeped in just positivity.
Oh,
and
dude,
support
I love
and
my
shit,
job
like,
so much, but this was the question, was the hardest.
This was the question, and especially for this portion, I want to preface too, because this is so much a beyond an outlier. It's not indicative of the larger community, but I've spoken before. It's just, there are just people out there that aren't well. They are just unwell, and they'll scare you. They'll come across as just really unstable, and it's those people that just harass you. And I'm not talking about people saying like Gus is unfunny or Gus sucks. It's like,
no,
I'm talking about somebody that sends me fucking emails for months and is sending physical mail to my friends to get fucking my attention. Like, fuck off. Like, seriously. Like, why the fuck would you think I want to interact with you?
Who's
like,
getting
come
physical?
on, dude.
Wait, people are getting physical mail to get your.
That's one that was happening like about a year and a half ago, and it's like, now I let enough distance come in. Like, they were fucking sending mail to the Sugar Pine offices at the time to be like, they were sending me emails. They sent mail to the P.O. box. Like, they had a problem with their channel that I thought I could
Oh, you're talking
fix.
about the guy that also that he was asking, like, he sent me some emails too, not to get to you, but he was asking us about like his channel shit.
Yeah.
You're talking,
and it's just like,
dude, that guy scared the shit out of me. Oh,
and it's like he sent videos and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't think that guy's probably watching anymore. I hope you got help, buddy. That's way too much. Like, come on, guy. Like, fucking come on. Like, that shit scares me. I don't want to interact with you. You know? And it's just like that kind of stuff. Obviously, again, it's such a drop in the pond, but now, you know, we're very fortunate at this point. It's like literal millions of people like watch us semi-regularly, where it's just like, statistically speaking, you're just gonna get people like that come along like more frequently now. And it's like, I don't deal well with that shit. Like, it's just, people fear what they don't understand, and I'm certainly one of those people, and I react so angrily and fearfully when shit like that happens, where I'm just like, get the fuck away from me. And it makes me so uncomfortable, and I fear for other people around me. And it's just like, I feel bad for people that are like, that would do that kind of shit and that are that way. But it's like, at the same time, it doesn't make me feel any more comfortable. Like, I don't know, man, I want the best for you. Go away, please. You're making me feel really uncomfortable. So I hate that shit the most. But again, that's so rare with people. Anyway, follow us on Twitch. You know the drill.
Yeah, no, I will say, in the not like correcting for it. Sorry, I had a burp, but I was thinking about it recently, where it is like, yeah, there are these downsides, and people hear us like, it's more fun to complain about things than to talk about positive things sometimes, you know. And so I feel like sometimes people hear us bitch about this stuff, but it's like, we love our job so much. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want the podcast to also be us just being like, I love my job. So it's like, the only time I'm thinking about saying something on the podcast is when I'm like, did you hear this fucking thing that happened? You know what I mean? Like,
that's the interesting shit, and that's like what bugs me too.
Yeah, it'd be weird as fuck if we were just like, I'm so thankful, and so the rest of the podcast is going to be us saying what we're thankful for. Gus, you can go first.
Eddie, hold my hand. Thank you.
I'll say too. Yeah, if you're one of those people who is at a Thanksgiving gathering and it's not like if you can't tell the vibe is that people want to talk about what they're thankful for and you're one of the people that stops dinner to do that, stop doing that. Don't do that. That's not something you should do. It's nice to think about what you're thankful for, but it's like in those situations where it's like, let's go around the table. It's like, that's my fucking nightmare. You might as well say like, we're going to say our names with an adjective in the beginning with the first letter of our name. Gus, you go first.
Hi, I'm Goofy Gus.
Oh my God.
Aunt Linda knows what I'm talking about. Goofy. She always called me Goofy. That's so
okay. Me next.
You go. Go, Eddie.
Energetic Eddie. That was so loud.
I know.
That's Goofy. You're being Goofy right now.
I'm being Goofy. That's me. Energetic Goofy. It's Spider-Man.
I hate that shit so much, dude.
It's a big army copter or something out there.
What?
Get out of here.
What are you talking about? Oh, I hear it. Yeah.
Frick
There's
you.
a copter above us, guys. They're coming for us.
Oh, no.
They're like, where's the new... Oh, you uploaded? I'll see you in a month. And they go up.
The missiles are 2 seconds away from engaging. Disengage. They fly off for another month.
Check my video stats as you read out the next question.
Good. What's the... let me see. At Thick Nick. Well, I guess we kind of already answered this. At Thick Nick, is streaming for you guys going to become a regular thing? We'll see in the future.
I think so. It'll never be regular. Like, the most I'd ever stream was twice a week.
I'm never
so too. I'm never, and that's only if I'm in the good mood for it. I don't think I'll ever abandon streaming because it's like really now that the setup's going, it's like I play games all the time. I'd rather just stream every once in a while then. But yeah, I don't think I want to treat it where it always feels fun and not like a new like third job, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing too. And one thing too that I think of as well is, again, in the video that I shot today that'll go up within an hour or two probably after this, but I say too, like I don't, everyone online is always trying to clamor for your attention, and I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. Like that's the nature of putting content out, but it's like I don't want people to get burned out on my shit, you know? Like I don't want to be so painfully available and out there all the time where it's just like, okay, Gus, we fucking get it, you know? Like, I don't want to be doing 8-hour live streams every day and have a podcast and upload once a week and do stuff on my socials and stuff. It's like, that's too much gush. You need a little bit of gush, a garnish of Gus. That's all you need. Just whoop, pop in for maybe a couple hours a week and go, what are those boys doing? Look at them. They're so beautiful. I'm going to go live my life now. That's all we need.
Exactly. And, I don't know. Yeah, streaming's been so fun, dude.
I fucking love it, dude.
So much fun.
It's just nice being able to chat with people and stuff too. And
yeah,
it's now I figured out this last stream how to do like rating and shit. And now it's like I rated Wubby's stream afterwards too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's fucking rad.
Yeah,
so.
rating that stuff with Twitch for people that don't know is you can like host and raid where it's like pretty much at the end of the stream you send your stream onto their stream and it's so positive where you're like, oh, end of the stream, who am I gonna smooch a little bit?
Yeah, so I love you, Wubsworth. I actually don't know Wubby's real name.
I don't either actually.
I even asked him in person. I was like, what do you go by? He's like, call me Wubby. I was like, okay. At Colby735045536 said, how many things had to be cut off that you were working on, like maybe project-wise, because of the corona? And do you boys have anything in the works that you can tell us about? Love you, boys. Love you too.
I mean, I think a lot of any collaboration stuff we were planning on doing just got kind of sliced. You know what I mean? I think, well, definitely obviously I want to do it so bad, but it's up in the air now when we're going to do the Mario Kart championship between Sven and Gus, just because we got to wait till it's safe for everybody to travel. VidCon is all up in the air too. So it's like, there's a good deal of stuff that was like fun or collab stuff that got kind of canceled. But I don't know, stuff we're working. Also, we can't really do the old PC game stream until we're in the same room.
Yeah, that sucks too.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you remember that too as we talk about the streaming shit. It's like that is without a doubt gonna happen. We just can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Other content wise, well, I mean, I had you'll probably be able to guess what it is, but I had a really big Wubby collab. Like kind of a follow-up thing that was like I had the information and the details for, but it was like right before the corona shit hit. Like I texted him, he was down for it, and then we couldn't fucking do it. So
right.
I'm sure you'd be able to guess what that is if you're listening. So I couldn't do that. Obviously, the tour went down. That shit sucks. And then, also, like, Eddie, you know this, too. We were talking a lot more at, like, Playlist in Orlando before this all hit and stuff. And like, this summer, and I still probably will be able to do some of it, but I was fully like, fuck it. Like, I've told you guys before, I want to have a show. I want to make a show. I want to sell a sketch show and do that. And I was just going to self-fund the pilot and just make the whole goddamn thing. I was talking to, like, William Osmond, and Will gave me a great fucking pep talk about that, where he just was like, I know you're going to do it. He goes, why don't you just do it now? It's like, fuck it. Just do it. He's like, don't wait for anybody to ask you to make it. Like, don't wait for, like, pitch me. He's like, if you just make this fucking pilot, do it. And I was like, I'm totally going to do that then. So I was honestly hoping to do that in, like, June or something, but I'm not going to be able to, like, finish it up in the timeline that I had hoped to maybe, try hitting stuff by the fall. So just a lot of that kind of next step shit, where I feel happy, though, too, where it's like the stuff we're doing online, I don't feel like I'm treading water here right now. I feel like, dude, we're growing. Like, we're still, like, I still feel like we're kind of new to the table, and we're still, like, boosting shit up here and stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad I wasn't like, fuck, I was going to hop to this other, like, lily pad, now I have to wait. So
exactly, yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, I got one for you here. Guys, too many numbers in your usernames. That's fine. I don't mind reading them, but you don't have to be Nate98762304. You can find some other Nate variants, but I'm glad you're here. He just said shitting in school.
Hopefully
like, did you?
Never, but if you have to, yeah.
Were you a school shitter? Because I was mortified for pretty much my entire high school existence.
Only in the case of an emergency would I shit in school.
Yeah, and I was mortified. You ever taken a shit and then you hear a teacher come in or something, or you see him and you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, and then they walk into your stall and they sit down on your lap.
Yeah, and you say, why? Every Tuesday you do this. Social studies stuff.
One time the physics teacher that was one of the physics teachers that was also a coach of mine walked into the bathroom where two juniors there was a girl giving a guy a blowjob, and he was just kind of like, get dressed and get out of there right now.
Yeah.
And it was all the talk of the school that day, and they got suspended.
Sex stuff in school was so foreign to me growing up, where it's like, again, we had a small enough student body, but it was kind of rare that you heard about those sexual events, like, did you hear that this guy got a blowjob on the bus? Like, what? Like, I remember homecoming when we were in 7th grade, and for perspective,
no.
this is going to age me and make me seem like a little Midwestern white bread boy here, but 7th grade was like, no one was considering sex shit. Like, no one was talking about having sex in 7th grade. Yeah. Like, fuck that. And I remember this kid got busted by the principal during the homecoming football game. In 7th grade, he had, like, walked with his girlfriend out into the, like, grass behind the football field with hundreds of people swarming around there, and just had sex laying in the grass.
Like, on caveman?
What the fuck, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, they got caught. Of course, they were just in the grass, just having sex with the football game, like 100 yards away. Like, are you stupid? What the fuck was that?
I don't like it. I don't like hearing any of that.
This is the same. That same person got, like, benched from playing football because they were, like, drinking in middle school, and then in 8th grade they got to come back, and it was a godsend that they got a second chance for. It's like, dude. The Wisconsin Athletics Association, the WIAA, like, does not allow this kind of shit, where it's like, you're lucky you're back. And it was the opening scrimmage for the 8th grade football season.
And he started having sex on the field with another player.
Like, what are you doing? No.
Sorry.
He got busted for drinking, and then the kid was on the sidelines fucking with a big lip full of chew. He was chewing tobacco, spitting on the sidelines.
Are you sure that wasn't a 40-year-old man?
Yeah. But it's like, what goes on in your brain? Do you not even... That's the dumbest fucking thing ever. They must have just been so numb at that point.
I was going to say, I would assume really bad childhood, which is not not something that's a fun discussion. So maybe next Pregunta.
Next Pregunta, absolutely. At Mericus Music. If you had an illness named after you, what would its effects be on the body? That's a positive one.
I think
What's Eddie Burback disease?
Eddie Burback disease. Well, there's two. There's Eddie Burback disease and then Eddie Burback syndrome. And Eddie Burback disease makes your dingling, your tingy dingy, just grow. Just it keeps growing until you yell out stop. So it's actually a beneficial disease unless you don't have any. If you can't speak, because if you can't speak, you can never tell it to stop.
That's true.
Eddie Burback syndrome. Sorry, go ahead.
When does that? That just sounds like a positive. When does that happen? Also, why would that be named after you?
Oh, for you just look into it. So Eddie Burback syndrome is actually where your it's a little embarrassing, but your sperm count gets so high that you women are just attracted to you, and they're like, this is the guy. This is the one he's like the one that needs to continue the human race. And so when you have Eddie Burback syndrome, it can be seen as a positive, but it just gets exhausting, to be honest. And it's too much. And so what would Gus Johnson disease be?
Well, I can get to that in a second, but I just want to clarify. Those neither of those, were you saying no on the clarification?
No, I said yep, sorry.
Okay. Neither of those diseases or ailments, should I say, they don't sound like negatives. They sound like you're trying to tell us that you A, have sex, B, do it frequently, and C, have a very big peen when you do it. So
well, the thing is, the problem is it could get dangerous if it keeps growing or if your sperm count gets too high. And so these can be very dangerous for the human body, especially if you have a vagina, because then it's like your body's just like, what do we do with all this? And so I don't know. It's just
sperm?
Yeah, and so again, that's why that's maybe kind of the negatives for it is if you don't want a lot of sperm or a giant penis, it could be really inconvenient for you.
They don't sound like negatives at all. Can you give me another negative? That just sounds like only positive stuff that you just.
Why would I make up another negative for a disease?
Wait, make up another. So you've made up these other three to try to just tell us that you have a big.
I'm saying why would I make up a negative? You said give me another negative. I'm saying why would I start adding things to an existing disease that's in medical books currently? So go to Gus Johnson disease. Just move on, dude. It's weird. You're not a doctor. You're not qualified to ask me these questions.
I feel now I feel really uncomfortable here.
Yeah, I bet you feel pretty dumb. I feel like you got a tingy dingy brain. Tingly dingly.
How big one final question and I'll tell you my disease. How big on average could your peen get? Like tell me a specific
as big as it goes. That's my answer.
As big as it goes?
As big as it'll get. That's my answer.
Like kind of like Harry Potter.
As far as you'll let it. As long as you let it be.
As long as you let it be?
As long as you allow it, as far as big as you want. Go ahead.
Do you? I mean, I kind of don't want to.
You don't want to say your disease?
No.
What? Go ahead. What's it? What is it?
Makes you have a really big vagina.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have it?